Have you ever been playing a certain Pokemon game and there is just one Pokemon that you have such a desire to get because they have everything you need, the right stats, the right types, and the right moves, except there is just one major issue. This certain Pokemon is not found until basically the end of the game, or even after the game, so is there really even a point in getting them? There are several cases of this happening in every generation of Pokemon. Although the Pokemon might have amazing stats across the board and even a fan favorite, are they actually useful in completing the game? Welcome everyone to my top 5 useless Pokemon, where I will be discussing 5 certain Pokemon, despite having some good stats and maybe some good moves, can be considered useless in your actual playthrough of the game. Please note, this is not a video about Pokemon that I don't like or even think that they aren't good. This is only focused on your playthrough of the game and if these Pokemon are actually useful in completing the game. Also, I'm not saying these Pokemon cannot be used. I'm sure some of you and even myself have in certain playthroughs. All I'm gonna try and explain is it really worth it and useful to your team to go the extra mile, the extra effort to try and use these Pokemon. Obviously, not everyone shares the same opinion and often disagree. You might disagree with most of the Pokemon that I have on this list, but what I do want from you guys is I want to know what Pokemon you think are useless in your playthroughs of the game. And I don't just mean because they have horrible stats, no evolution, and a terrible move pool. Sorry, far-fetched. But what are some actually good Pokemon that have some pretty good stats that just don't benefit you in the game? Let me know in the comment section below. If you do enjoy this video and would like more top 10s from me, be sure to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new, and share it with a friend. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Number 5. Tyranitar is one of my favorite Pokemon ever and is pseudo-legendary with a 600 stat total. Pretty much everyone I know loves this Pokemon. But back in 2nd Gen with Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Larvitar was not obtainable until Mount Silver, which is literally after both regions. This is the only game where we can explore 2 regions, and not only can we not use Tyranitar for our Johto run, we can't use him for our Kanto run either. Even in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, you can't catch Larvitar until the 7th island, which is in the after game. Luckily, Game Freak noticed the mistake and fixed it for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, as you can catch Larvitar in the Safari Zone and actually kind of use him on your adventure. Also, if you can't tell, I'm mainly going to be focusing on all these Pokemon's home region, as some of them can be found in multiple. Number 4. Rapidash is not a bad Pokemon. It has really great speed and physical attack. It actually is the fastest Fire-type Pokemon in Kanto and 2nd in physical attack behind Arcanine. But what really hurts this Pokemon first off is all Fire types before Gen 4 are special attacks. But then not only that, neither Rapidash nor Ponyta is catchable until after the 7th gym at Kendall Road on the 1st island. Next, you have a Fire-type gym where it's pretty much useless for, but then yes, you have an Ice-type Elite Four member, but where 4 out of 5 Pokemon are Water-type. So yeah, there's really no point in trying to use it. But I mean, hey, at least it was fixed for Diamond and Pearl, as it learned like Flare Blitz and Flame Wheel for its physical attack. Number 3. Electra types have always been viable to me, and you'll rarely ever see me have a team without one. Electros has some really great stats with a 115 base attack, a 105 base special, and he doesn't even lack in defenses with 80 for both special and physical. The only thing he's kinda lacking in is speed. Not only that, he has a solid move pool, learning Crunch, Discharge, and Thunderbolt. So why is he on this list? Although his stats and moves are great, you don't receive Dynamo, the pre-evolution, until Chargestone Cave right before the 6th gym, and this guy is not staying alive on his own. Your best chance to level this thing up is to equip him the Lucky Egg received from the Professor in the cave, and switch in and out for 12 levels until level 39, then using a Thunderstone found in Chargestone Cave to finally get Electros. But in black and white, the time you need electric types the most is the 6th gym with flying types. After the 6th gym, you have ice and dragon type gyms, which there's not really any need there. Then he's only needed for 2 Pokemon in the entire Elite Four and the champion. Unless you're going to spend all of your time in Route 7 and Celestial Tower trying to train to get those 12 levels before the 6th gym, you're better off just catching Blitzel early on in the game and using Zebstrika for a sweeper with his high physical attack and high speed. I just really can't find any sense or any use for trying to get those 12 levels right before the 6th gym when you're already there, or just for the 2 Pokemon in the Elite Four. There's just really no use to that. Number 2. Useless is a strong word for Abomasnow, and actually probably everyone on this list, but I definitely believe there is a way better option for both ice and grass. First off, this Pokemon has 7 weaknesses, 7 with a 4 times weakness to fire. Then you only get Snover right before the 7th gym, so it's only available for an ice gym and an electric gym. But I mean, wait, United Gamer, you could say he's super effective and very useful for the 2nd Elite Four member, the ground type. But wait, 4 of the 5 Pokemon here have super effective moves on Abomasnow, such as Fire Punch, Fire Fang, Mega Horn, and Stone Edge. Whiscash is about the only thing that he completely annihilates with a Wood Hammer. The rest of the Elite Four is Bug, Fire, and Psychic, so yeah, there's nothing really there. And then you have the lovely Cynthia. So first off, we have one of her most OP Pokemon in my opinion, which is Garchomp, where bam, you definitely need ice to just ace this thing. But he has Brick Break and Diamond and Pearl, which is super effective, and then it gets even worse in Platinum. He has Flamethrower, and guess what? He is definitely gonna outspeed you, and bam, that is a one-shot to Abomasnow, so we don't have him to take out her Garchomp. Then you can just start going through her team. First off, you have Spiritomb with Silver Wind, next Roserade with Sludge Bomb, Gastrodon with Sludge Bomb, and Lucaria's Aura Sphere. Abomasnow just has so many weaknesses that really hurt him for the little part of the game that he can be used. Abomasnow has some really nice stats, there's no denying that, but Mamoswine is a much better Ice-type Pokemon for you, at least in my opinion. It has a better stat total, really bulky HP to take those hits, and a whopping 130 attack stat, not to mention it has better speed with Ice Fang. Mamoswine is found around the same time and can definitely take that Flamethrower from that Garchomp. And then bam, just one Ice Fang and that Garchomp is definitely down, way more useful for you. And as for Grass, you can have a Leafeon with his defense, attack, and great speed. It is a much more powerful Pokemon for you to have. Or Roserade, which is pretty underrated, amazing special attack, special defense, and pretty good speed. Abomasnow is an amazing idea for a Pokemon, and I really do like him. But we can't ignore the fact that there are much better options for you, and it pretty much just makes him useless for your playthrough. Number 1. This Pokemon was insanely difficult to add to this list, as Salamence is one of my absolute favorite dragon Pokemon, and probably one of my favorite Pokemon ever. But I mean, just hear me out. Bagon is only obtainable in all Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire, all within the same location, Meteor Falls, but only with Waterfall, which is after the 8th gym. But then you finally get this Bagon just before the Elite Four, but it's only at level 40 and you still have 10 levels to go install and train this thing. Well, 15 levels if you actually want to even out with Drake's Salamence in the Elite Four, which is probably the main reason you're even catching him for, the Dragon Trainer Drake. He's just not really needed for any other Elite Four member or the champion. Sure, it's an amazing Pokemon, a pseudo-legendary with great stats and moves, but it's out of the way and not beneficial through your whole playthrough. You have so many other dragons to choose from in Hoenn that can be used throughout the game, like Altaria, Flygon, and even Kingdra, which I believe is very underrated. And if you're just really needing help to deal with Drake the Dragon Trainer, catching a Spheal in Shoal Cave after the 6th gym is way easier to get a Walrein, which is insanely bulky, with Ice and Water Stab to take those flamethrowers from those dragons. There is just so many other Pokemon that could be considered useful for your team, as just Salamence is just insanely good, but extremely out of the way to be useful for your playthrough. And that concludes my top 5 useless Pokemon. Thank you everyone for watching. Let me know in the comment section below, did you agree with some of these, or did you disagree with all, or God forbid, did you actually agree with all 5 that I had on this list? Also, are there some other Pokemon that you believe to be useless in certain playthroughs and certain games? Although they may have great stats, I definitely believe I could dig up some more Pokemon that I remember being useless in some of my past playthroughs. So if you'd ever like to see more top 5s like this one and many other Pokemon videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join the United family today. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and add me on Snapchat. I try my best to talk to my viewers daily on Snapchat and snap you back. All of my social medias are at UnitedGamer101. They can all be found in the description below. But as always everyone, this is not just a channel, it is a family, and I hope to see you in the next video. I'm out.